Okay, we'll start, guys. Good afternoon again. Welcome to the CA classroom in association with the Mind and Company. I'm CA Karthik Manikonda. This session is going to help you identify your study skills. Those who have just joined, what we have done in the first 10 minutes is I've shared a link in the chat box where students have filled a form. Those who have just joined also, it's fine. You can fill the form again during the session. So now let me hand over the session to Priya, psychologist, who will take over the session from here. So welcome, Priya.
Yeah,
So Priya will take it over from here, guys. Thank you.
yeah. So, good afternoon, guys. It would be really nice if you can on your front cameras, and it would be really nice if you can be even more interactive during the session. I'll give you 1 minute, please, on your front camera. It's going to take just few seconds, please. So, can you please respond? Yeah. Thanks, Ashwin. Yeah, so I am not very familiar with you all. I'm Priya. I'm a psychologist. I deal with students, adults, everyone. So today we actually thought that it will be really helpful if you can know what your study skills are. See, everyone says, no, study all the time. They'll tell you to study, but no one will teach you how to study, what method you have to study. So you all are comfortable with English and Tamil. If I use Tamil in between, it will not be a difficulty, no? You're all fine with it, right? Okay. So that's the problem. See, எல்லாருமே படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, but they'll not tell you how to study, what methods you can inculcate to study and all that. So we thought that it will be easy if I can teach you few methods that will help you to study. And one more important thing is we all have a different learning style. If we identify the learning style, the more we work on it, we can actually retain a lot of informations. Okay, so we'll first start with the session. You see how the studying process actually goes on, and then we'll tell you the techniques. Okay, yeah. So first slide. No, go to the previous one. No, Karthik. Okay, so I give you 1 minute. All of you watch this picture very well. We're going to play a game actually. Okay, look at this picture carefully. Okay, so Karthik, go to the next slide. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you where what is, and you're going to tell. Okay, so what did you find in the second row, second picture? You can put it in the chat box, or you can unmute and speak if you. Karthik, will they be able to unmute and speak?
Yeah. You guys can unmute and speak by yourself, or you can also put in the chat.
Someone said way too fast. Someone says elephant. Okay.
I guess it's a cake.
Cake. Okay. Seems you're hungry. Okay. So any other answer, or shall we go back to the picture and see? Mouse. Dinesh Kumar said it's a mouse. Yeah, Dinesh Kumar is right. So it was a mouse. So I'm going to ask for another question, like third row, second picture. Dinesh says it's a cake. Anyone else?
I guess it was a perfume.
Perfume. Okay. Any other responses? So it was not a perfume nor a cake, it was a jug. Can you tell me what is the first row, first picture that you all saw?
Balloon?
Yeah, balloon is right. Absolutely right. And the last picture that you saw, last row, last picture? Yeah, balloon is right. Perfect, Nish. So last row, last picture. Any responses? Not an elephant. Karthik, you can go to the previous slide so that let them see the answers. So it was a submarine. Okay. So what did we actually do now? Please on your front cameras, children. Be more comfortable for me because I don't want to talk to myself, looking at myself. Okay.
We quickly had a glance at the first image and then we tried to recollect at the same time. And then, just a kind of a memory testing game rather.
Yeah, exactly. Who said that?
Sushma. And we miserably failed, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, Sushma. You were very clear. It is actually we just saw it was a very simple memory game that we all play, we all know, and we only tried to retry the information that we already saw. So the fraction of time that I gave you was not enough for you to retrieve, right? All the information. The first row, first picture, mostly all were recognized what it is. Then after that, you would have like gone like crazy, like here, there, and see, someone said it was a perfume. It was actually fourth row, second picture was a perfume. You understand? The time is not enough for your memory to process it into an information. Before that, I jumped on to the next slide, right? So it really needs time for your memory to retrieve an information. That is, if you put in an information, you need a lot of time for it to process, and then only you can actually get it back. When you are studying, it is very important that you give time to a topic and study. Then only you will be able to retrieve it fast. Next slide. Next slide. So learning is relatively a permanent change in the process. Okay, so we generally tell that learning is an important process that involves a lot of experience. We learn, we go through it, and we understand it. That's why we are able to retrieve it also. And next one. Generally, we say this child is very intelligent. He's so he's able to get the first mark and all that. But there's nothing called intelligence in academics at all. Okay, it is only memory that we measure. How much you retrieve information, how much you are able to remember, that is what is your marks, right? Your marks is not your intelligence. Intelligence means it's the capacity to deal with the issue. It's the capacity to solve a problem. It's the capacity to learn something new and understand a process. Okay, see, for example, someone here will never know, may not know cooking at all, and suddenly you are learning to make a biryani today. That is a process of your intelligence. Your intelligence is helping you to learn that. It is not the intelligence that is holding the capacity of your learning or how many other subjects that you do. Okay, next one. So learning process involves a lot of methods: verbal, visual, kinesthetic, emotional, and all that. So you need to have proper sleep, food, and exercise, and also be relaxed and concentrate for this learning process to happen, basically. So as this lockdown, this COVID and all that, all our routine has changed. Like as when you would have attended the last session, you will know what it was. Okay, there's a lot of change in our routine itself. So that sleep pattern, that food pattern itself has changed completely. And on top of that, we are putting in knowledge into us is not going to help us so much. When we have that routine only, we'll be able to acquire information and learn new things easily. Next one. So what basically is memory? It's a psychological definition of how things are how much. One second, someone's asking something. I'll just see that. Ma'am, accounts, math subjects, I can understand it's too. Yeah, I'll give you some techniques for you to remember, and I'll also tell you which method will suit you for learning. That is what we have given the questionnaire for. So once you're done with the session, it'll take some time for me, but in a couple of days, we'll try to give you the result. What type of learner you are? For example, if you are a auditory learner, you have to start listening more. That kind. So I'll tell you as we move on to the next slides. I'll tell you. So our memory holds everything we know about ourselves. So basically, memory is a very very important thing that holds. It's just a capacity like how your pen drive is or your hard disk is. It holds a lot of informations. There is it all depends on what kind of memory you have. It's a 2 GB or it is a 64 GB or more than that is all inside. So we just have to see how much we can hold. Next one. So memory basically involves these process: encoding, storage, and retrieval. So once you see something, when you saw that picture, no, that we played a memory game. So once you saw the picture, it started to encode where what is. Then it started to store. Sure, I'll do discuss about that. Okay, and storage is the capacity of how much it can hold, and retrieving is from the capacity how you brought it to your like sensory memory. Next one. Yeah, so this is very important. Okay, see, sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory are the three types of memories that involves us. So sensory memory is something that is going to like be in the fraction of second. That one day, one picture you saw, no, that moment, that less than 10 seconds is what is sensory memory. You saw one balloon, that's all. Well, a balloon was so much registered in your head. Am I audible, children? Am I audible? Not clear. Huh?
It's Priya, just a little low. So I think suddenly it just dropped. Maybe the connection was gotten loose or something. Just
Okay, now okay?
yeah, it's perfect again. Yeah.
Yeah. So sensory memory is that fraction of second that you see. Short-term memory, for example, see, you're going to go to a cinema hall, okay, and I'm booking a tickets for you, and I send you the tickets, and you see the row of you've been like booked. Your seat is B20. And you keep it off. Like when you go to the cinema hall, you take the ticket B20. Once you go and sit in the B20, then you'll forget what the seat number was, right? So that is the short-term memory. That is, it'll hold very less. The memory time is very short-term. The process of learning involves you putting the short term to long term. See, for example, you're attending a class now, and this is all that you hear is going to your short term memory. From short term to long term, how does it convert? Because only the more you practice it, it converts. For example, long term memory holds on informations like what's your name. So any of you, okay, I'll call out me. No. Ashwin, tell me, alphabets. Tell me alphabets.
A, B, C, D, E, F, like that, ma'am?
Yeah, tell Z.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Okay, very good. All of you clap for Santosh, no? He has a very strong long-term memory now. Right? Okay, so I'm going to ask someone else now. Glory, can you hear me? Glory, you there? Okay, Sandhya, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Sandhya, what are you actually doing? You're doing your CA?
Yes, ma'am.
You're done with your schooling?
Yes, ma'am. I completed, ma'am, in 2007.
In 2017, you completed. Okay. Sandhya, can you tell me, like, what was your second chapter in 11th standard in your accounts?
Accounts, ma'am. Journal, introduction to journal entries, ledgers, like that, ma'am.
Second, was that the second unit of your accounts?
Yes,
for sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all of you, like, I have no clues how accounts.
No, ma'am. First 2 chapters about the theories of the first basic accounting, ma'am, and then it goes to journal entry, ledger, like that.
See, Ashwin could say ABCD so fast. He learned it in LKG. but you
Okay.
are thinking what to tell in 11th standard, because 11th standard was just 2 years back, no? Few years back, no? But
Yes.
ABCD was long time before.
Yes, ma'am.
But how was that that more easier than this?
Because we used it for daily.
Exactly, because you keep before you used, every time when you were in your LKG, every time someone enters your house, your mother or father will say, he knows ABCD, she knows ABCD. So immediately you will start telling ABCD, FG, HI, JK, L, M, N, P, all that you start singing. Then
Yes.
again another one uncle will come. Again you will tell ABCD. Again you will get practiced. And the more people will call you off your name, you will remember the name also, your name basically. Okay. So this is how it goes to law. And ABCD is used even now. Like to write your name, you need to know ABCD, right? But the
Yes.
second theory unit is not being used so much like that ABCD that you use.
Yes.
Okay, that is why it is a little vague in our mind. And I have no clues what I studied in my 8th, 9th and all. Like if you ask also, I'll not have no clue because it is not there in our memory. But as I said, LKG, UKG was more repetition and we all remember rhymes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? That's because of repetition and it's already gone into your long-term memory. Okay, your house address, your phone number and all that. You all would have watched this movie called Gajni, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Amir Khan, Surya, like whichever version you watched, he will
Surya.
have the problem of converting the short-term memory to long-term memory. You understand? That's why he forgets everything in 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the process of converting short-term to long-term needs a lot of practice, needs a lot of, needs a lot of like repetition, and it has to be again and again retrieved from your long-term memory. Okay, if I tell your name is Ashwin, I tell your name is Sandhya, and you forget that. And no one is using that name. No one is calling by that name. Nor you're telling that my name is Ashwin to anyone. Nor my name is Sandhya to anyone. You will obviously forget your names.
Yes.
Right? So it is very important to convert any information from short term to long term. That's why I tell you to. That's why teachers, like everyone, know this. The whole theory behind imposition is turning it to long term memory.
Okay.
That is why they give you that imposition. Write 10 times and come. Go write 5 times and come. Right? That is because they are trying to put your short term to long term memory. So every time you study, it is in your short term memory only. You will forget it in few minutes. So try to convert it to your long term by practice. That doesn't mean that you have to sit to the book and keep reading at all. So I'll tell you how to have the memory travel cues. Next slide, Karthik. So all of you are clear with this learning types, right? Like my memory types, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No difficulties, no? All very clear, no? Okay. So I'm going to move on to something called forgetting, okay? Forgetting is very, very important as memory. As I told you, I've forgotten something that I studied in my 8th or 9th class. But I remember my ABCD because at 8th or 9th class, things have not been retrieved. And sometimes we would have a vague memory, right? Somewhere I went, I remember when I was in 6th standard, they took me for this trip. I went with this friend. That vague memory will be there because we don't keep retrieving that same excursion or same trip that we went again and again, right? But this, you see, whatever you remember from your childhood, it would be very emotionally connected with you. That is why you remember it, right? And you keep thinking about it often. That was my best birthday. That was my best gift I ever got. That was the best memory I had with my friends. That was the first time. See, all of you would have gone to movie with your friends for the first time once, right? You all will remember that movie name. Right? You can never forget. See, I am 30 years old. Even I remember the first movie I saw with my friends in school. Okay, we can never forget that because it's very important for all of us. Like the first thing that we went alone by ourselves, that it was the best experience, no? Like when we are, that is like we started thinking that we've become adults, we've become big children, we can go for a movie alone with our friends. That kind of one nice hype we got when we went alone without parents, just with friends. So that can never be forgotten. So such things which are emotionally connected to our childhood will not be forgotten. But things which we don't use will be automatically forgotten. See, again, I remember things that we all remember things that we did in our childhood. Maybe I remember my first day of school. 3 years old I was. But I don't remember my second day of school. Okay, because second day of school gave me nothing. It was another day that I went to school. That's all. But the first day of school, the first time I went into an atmosphere called school, I remember. I remembered crying. I remembered other children crying more than me. All that I can remember. I still remember the faces of those students also. I really have no clues about what their names are, but the picture is so much into my eyes that I can retrieve it so much. But second day of school, I have no clues. Right? So things are forgotten in very, very less time. Okay, this is a forgetting curve. So every time we study or we learn something, it is there 100% immediately. But 20 minutes later, 58% is gone. 1 hour later, 44% is gone. 9 hours later, 36 is gone. 1 day later, 33 is gone. 2 days later, 28 is gone. 6 days later, 25 is gone. And 31 days later, 21% is gone. So this is a forgetting curve that is being designed by a psychologist called Ebbinghaus. Okay, it is called the forgetting curve. So if you don't do a retrieval of information, this is how your forgetting happens. By 31 days, finished, all gone. Okay, so you will have someone vaguely talking something somewhere. If someone comes and asks you, do you remember this chapter I taught you last week? And if you haven't retrieved the chapter, you will be like, okay, somewhere I've heard this topic. That's all. Not the topic's information or something. Just the topic you will remember, or 1 or 2 words associated if you don't retrieve. Okay, next one. So it's very important to know what study skills are. Study skills are techniques used in order to achieve greater success in learning. They are used in a number of ways: to process the organized information, to help retain information, to see the connection between the concepts, to use previously learned material in order to help learn new material. In order to be successful at learning, you need to be active. Real learning is not a passive activity. So basically, I'm going to give you skills. Okay, how? See, we all know maybe to drive bike, you need good auditory skills, good visual skills, right? So many skills together associated, only you can drive a bike. The same way, everything, and you need memory, you need judgment. If my bike will go inside this gap or not, that judgment you should know. If all that is there, only you will be able to drive a bike properly. If not, you cannot drive, right? So such things, so many skills put together, you will be able to show your success in the performance even more in a better way. Okay. So yeah, Karthik, we can start. Next one. So as I said, skill will help, is an ability. It will help you in growth. It's an advanced training. It gives you knowledge. It helps in learning, competence, training, and it gives a good experience. Next one. So I'll start with this loci. Okay.
Just a minute before you just get into this page. I have some doubts with respect to the forgetting curve. See, CA is a course where you have got tons and tons of information that is to be, studied or retrieved or rather anything. And our textbook doesn't come in a pictorial or graphical, nothing. It's just blatant words which has been written and runs to so many pages. Now, how do you expect us to get into this forgetting curve? Because as per the forgetting curve, whatever you read today, it is going to slowly erode, and at the end of the 31st day, it's going to be totally off. So having this vast portion in mind, how are we supposed to, keep shuffling all the books and keeping the storage very fresh? I don't really understand how is that even possible.
See, I would say that you're like as you said, there's no pictures and all that, and it is not easy for you to remember. But if you are not retrieving information, if you are not practicing constantly, that is when you have this forgetting happening. I said forgetting happens if you don't practice the same question or same answer for 31 days at a stretch. That doesn't mean you have to practice every day. For all the 31 days, it doesn't mean that you have to keep practicing. Like every on and off. For 31 days, if you leave that question idle, it will be forgotten.
But then, ma'am, really the portion is so huge that, even once in 60 days, you'll not be able to come back to the day one chapter. Because, portions, is actually extremely vast, where, you will not be able to come back to the first question or the first page of that chapter again within a span of at least 60 days.
I'll answer that. So I'm a CA, so let me answer that.
Yeah.
So the day before your exam, right? So let's say your first exam is accounts and next exam is law at CA inter level. The day before exam, in the one day, you're able to revise the entire syllabus, right?
Not entire, we just give a glance. Right now I'm preparing for my CA final exams, and for that I'm just talking. See, for one day will not be sufficient, but I just give a glance at it.
So they give you a day and a half. The objective of giving you a day and a half is to enable you to revise the entire syllabus. So what ideally has to happen is you have to be in a position to be able to revise the entire syllabus. So for that, you have to make your own notes, create your own flow charts. I mean, textbook doesn't have, the study material doesn't have a lot of pictures, but you can see like there are some flow charts, and there are, to an extent possible, there are some graphs at least in the latest study mat, right? They are trying to incorporate all of that also. If you see the BOS website also, they were given like the flowchart kind of revision material and all of that. So they are trying to include that. So the objective is to revise as quickly as possible in a short time. So it won't happen in a day. It's a process. Like you are right. In 30 days and 60 days, you can't go back to the topic you studied. That is what happens in the first 4 to 5 months of your study period. But when you start revising, the last 1-2 months, when you start revising, the objective is to quickly revise, correct? So if you're not able to revise the entire syllabus the day before exam, you will find it difficult to recollect the same topic in the exam.
True that. Agreed. But I was just wondering of how, to revise all the
See, I am
content in a day.
trying to tell you to take one chunk of information. Okay, one chunk of information. Try to practice that. Put it nicely into your short-term memory first. Then go push it to your long-term memory. And after 10 days, you come back and revise. Just make a note or whatever, make a flowchart or whatever, and revise it. When you are revising, like what he is also trying to, Karthik is also trying to tell is, you are supposed to put in all the like there is only going to be revision, that is only going to be the retrieval cues that you're going to study. You're not going to start with your sensory memory and put it to your short-term memory to your long-term memory. Once from your short-term to long-term it is converted, you will not forget it as quickly as possible. Like how he was able to tell the ABCD and someone was able to tell the rhymes. So if you go back, if it is pushed already to the long-term memory and you just have to revise the day before or something happen, it will take time for you to push it to the long-term memory. Agreed. Okay, it will take time. It will not be going like this. But when the day before your exam and you revise it, it will automatically come to your short-term memory. And obviously in your exam, you have to pull it to your short-term memory to write. Right? It
Sushma,
cannot
I'll
be
give
just
you a
kept
small
in your
example.
long-term memory.
This is for Sushma
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody else. I'll just give a small example. So when you guys are studying, right, you might be having your own plans. So
Yeah.
let's say you start studying on Monday, you take a topic, you make a next 15 days plan. How many of you here, what you study from Monday to Saturday, the entire content of your 6 days, you again revise on Sunday? Do you do that?
No, I
No,
don't
right?
do that. I consider that as a
Yeah,
waste of time.
exactly. So when you study from Monday to Saturday, I see everyone, what you have to do is you study for 7 days. The next week you study something else for 7 days. You don't study what you studied the previous week. So what you have to do on Sunday or any day of the week, keep half a day, like 5 hours or 7 hours slot to revise what you studied the entire week. Quickly glance through it. That will help you push the memory from your short term to long term memory. That's another small technique that you can do.
Okay.
When it comes to CA, I'm saying, because the
Okay.
syllabus is
Now, since you have touched this topic, I'm just posting another question which I have. There's a subject called ISCA, right? Your
yeah,
last paper in your CA
yeah.
final.
Yeah.
So as far as ISCA is concerned, it's going to be literal blatant, mugging up.
Yeah. So
So
for that,
yeah.
see, in a while, Priya will tell you, ISCA is a topic which is very theoretical and very less of practical application for you. So what method suits you? Like whether you read and write multiple times. That's a subject where if you
Yeah,
read
yeah,
the side headings
yeah.
multiple times,
That is
you
what
will be
I'm
able to
just wanted to
remember.
tell you. As far as ISCA is concerned, for instance, if you are having some acronym, okay.
Hmm.
I'm just telling you an example. For instance, one answer goes like ACF, whatever, an
Okay.
acronym.
Hmm.
Now this A stands for accuracy or authenticity. I get confused. I keep studying, I keep mugging up, no doubt. But after a week or so, I just can't get confused. Is it A for authenticity or A for accuracy? Or which question A stands for authenticity? Something I keep confusing. But I know it starts from A. A is the acronym, I know that. But I just confused.
Yeah, that comes out of practice only, Sushma. Like, so you're doing the right way, but you have to
And maybe
practice.
that is not the method that you have to
Yeah,
inculcate.
exactly.
Okay.
You are not good at that. Don't inculcate that method then.
Okay.
And in case if you want to make it as an acronym, make it like AU, AC, with the next letter also. If there is like multiple A's in the same thing, then put in another alphabet to make it an acronym. Okay. You can put a capital A and a small c so that it is accuracy.
Okay.
So that will help you in case if that does if acronym suits you. We don't know if acronym suits you, no?
Okay,
We
ma'am.
have to
Okay.
test that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
basically first thing is shall I continue?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Loci is something that you see every time you lose a key, no, what do? You think, no, how did I enter this room? How did this come here? How did I enter the hall? Where did I sit? That's how you reverse think things, right? Like you also sometimes do it in action. You go walk around, you see here, there, which side you kept the key, all that, right? That is loci. So basically when you're learning also, you can do that. The process you can visualize, you can imagine how it goes on. Okay, So next thing is acronym. As you all know, acronym is taking the first letters and jotting it down. Maybe if you're having a lot of side headings, you're having a lot of labelings, then you can take in the first letters and you can make it as a word, or you can make it just like, don't chunk more than 3 or 4 letters together. Okay. Yeah. Next one, Karthik. Rhyming. So it see, you all remember your Twinkle Twinkle Little Star very well because of the rhyme, the sound, like, and every time you if I when I said tell me ABCD, immediately that song would have come in your mind, ABCD, right? But you would control yourself when you said ABCDEFG, right? Because you don't want to be funny here, so you tried controlling the rhyming sounds, and because the rhyming sounds actually associates a lot of things to us. It gives us more clarity on what we are learning. So especially when you're studying also, you can form the way, see, some teachers have their different unique way of pronouncing the words, and we try to pick up that and we follow that. Even now there are a few words that we pronounce very differently only because of the teachers who have influenced on us, right? So every word that is very important that you have to remember, associate some rhyme towards that word. Rhyme doesn't mean you have to sing. Okay, just a different sound that can help you to recall. Okay. Linking, very much important. This is okay. Like before this I did this, before that I did this. That linking is very important. So every subject that you study, link from one to another, like one topic to another. See, I have no clues what subjects you will have. I'm very vague about accounts and whatever subjects that you study. Okay, I come from a completely different background. So with whatever I am trying to put in, just try to associate it with your subjects. Okay, so with one theory to another theory, try linking it so that you'll be able to retrieve it. Karthik, I think you can help them if they need.
So I just wanted to add on, say linking is very important, guys. So like if you're a CA foundation student, this example might not suit you, but intern final students, like you can link your accounting standards. Let's say AS4, you can link it from accounts to auditing. You have a standard SA 560 subsequent events. So you can link it, you can link the topics. And those who are doing your articleship final students, you obviously link your tax papers to your practical application. So when you link it more, when you try to link what you're doing practically with the theoretical subject, it's very easy. Now you hear a lot of times that students who do articleship in Big Four clear in the first attempt. They do clear in the first attempt. Why is that? It's not because they get 5-6 months leave, 1 or 2 months leave extra more than you. It's because what you study as theory, practical exposure over there is much high. So for example, something like standard costing or marginal costing, you might think it's only theoretical, you might never apply it practically, but sometimes in some audits you actually apply standard costing and marginal costing in your application. Like you do variance analysis, that's another application. So the more you can actually link the theory to practical knowledge, it becomes easier, because once you clear your CA, it's going to be very less of theory and more of practical issues. So when you try to link different subjects to the extent possible, then it becomes much more easier. Yeah. You can continue.
Next slide, Karthik. So chunking, as I said, no, you cannot see. If I tell you my mobile number, like 98411524770, that's how we remember. We don't remember all the 10 digits together, right? We cannot do that. We chunk our numbers and only we remember. And how many of you have seen this old in movies and all? You see the car will have like 3 numbers, TMX 4030, 3 alphabets and 4 numbers. Right, olden days, like you see that old Fiat and all, no, you see that numbers will be like that. That is because our human capacity is only to recall 3 letters and 4 numbers. That's why all our number plates are not more than 4 numbers. Suddenly you go hit someone, the police will be able to only, the sensory memory can only hold that 4 numbers together. Okay, even sometimes in that 4 numbers we chunk. Okay, my bike number is 1911. I do it as 1911. Okay, so it depends for each individual for you to do the chunking. Some can hold 3 together, some can hold 4 together, some can hold it like 2. So chunking is very important, and especially when it comes to numbers, you will have to remember a lot of numbers, right? So do the chunking together, it will help you a lot, like not more than 4 numbers, because it is difficult for a human brain to hold. Then preview question, read, state, and test. So first preview what you're going to study, then question yourself whatever you've studied, then read it to yourself, then state what you studied, close everything and see how you have done it, and test yourself if you are able to recall that well. Okay.
I would just like to
Next
add on
one,
over
sir.
here. This PQRST is pretty important for CA. So here, first thing when you're studying, see, you study, let's say you take in foundation level, what are the 7 rules for offer, or in inter level, let's say law, the next 5 points. When you read those 5 points, what Priya is trying to say is you read those 5 points, read the question, read the answer, then you'll think you know it. But you have to close your book, see if this question comes in the exam. Are you able to recollect the five points in that moment itself? And again, in the main exam, you need to spend time. When you read the question, don't immediately jump to answers. Take a minute time, read the question, understand what is there over there, think for yourself, and then go for the answer. Yeah, Priya, you can continue.
Next one. Next slide. Yeah, see, I think there's one more, Karthik, previous. Write down, okay. Yeah, you can come to the last one. Yeah, you can come to the next one. Write down whatever you study, write it down. So I've taken a very simple example, parts of an animal cell to be an example, okay? Because with this, you try to put it for your subject. Maybe Karthik will help you doing that, okay? Next one, Karthik, next one. So see, I have highlighted and written, like in different color, I have written the parts so that you will be able to associate it with color, okay? Or you can put each part in one color also. Cytoplasm, cell membrane, nucleus is one in one color. So yellow color was this, blue color was this, pink color was this. In case you forget also which color you forgot, you can bring it. You can also use this Vibgyor order itself for writing. Vibgyor order itself if you write, and you all know it is going to be violet, blue, like violet, indigo blue, red, all that, right? So every time you want to recall it, like if you forget one part, okay, in Vibgyor R is missing. So red color, which part was that? That you can put it back here. It will help you to retrieve the information. Next one, Karthik. So this is a flow chart, or you can call it as a mind map. Basically, you can put it in a map kind. Clear? Am I clear? Okay, audible? Yeah. Okay, so mind map is something which has a big flow chart. I wouldn't say it is a flow chart. Okay, it is a map. It is like if you're going to study a topic. See, look at that slide. No, parts of the animal cell is the topic that you're going to study. Put it in between. So from that, what is the first topic? What is the first thing that arises? Put number 1 and put another box and write that. Second one, third one, fourth one. Like that, you write it till the end in the order itself. So that 1, 2, 3 order will also be there. And even if you forget, see how many there are. Maybe there are 16 or 18 parts in that animal cell. So you will remember that 18 things that you have studied and 18 points are there. When you recall it, when you try retrieving it, anywhere you leave a point, you can recall it easily. Okay, 15 was this, 17 was this. What was 16 will be easy for you to retrieve.
So to link this to CA, what she's trying to say is like you can make your own flowcharts. So like how Shushma said, most of our textbooks are only theory and paragraphs run into paragraphs. What you have
Karthik,
to do.
This is a mind map, Karthik, not flowchart. Mind map.
Okay. Got it. So what you can also do is make a mind map for your subject, or you can also make a flowchart, which will help you remember the.
Yeah, exactly. Flowchart is coming behind.
Okay.
Next one, Karthik. So as you all know, acronyms cannot be, as I said, not more than 4 letters or 3 letters, because you can only hold that. So once you write the acronym, you will be able to retrieve the. See, when someone said that they're not able, they get confused between 2 A's, 2 C's. Then you add on the next letter also. AE or AC or AD. Let the first letter be in caps and let the second letter be in small, so that you will also have the understanding and the difference between them. Next one. So the first letters can be taken. So the acronym is a form, and even first letter is another form. So first letter can be taken, and they can also be chunked to form the points. So if you're writing 10 points, in the first 10 points, you take the first letters or important letters. Okay, this will talk about costing. This will talk about whatever points are going to come on next. You can just make it a point. Okay. Yeah. Next one. So as Karthik explained very clearly about the flow chart, you can put a flow chart where see it in the order, like which order the things are going to come and how you are going to retrieve it. See, maybe 10 colors, you can use different colors. And basically, it is very important to use colors in studying when you make notes and all that. No, more colors you add, more shades you add, for especially for visual learners. Okay, next one, Karthik.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I just tried, making a lot of colors, by means of a marker or a sketch pen or whatever in my book just to make it colorful. But the thing is, eventually, what I will realize? I have marked it in yellow color or in whatever color. I'll be able to trace out the color, but I forget what I've underlined over there. I'll be able
Okay,
to
that's
trace
what you
only
have
the
to
color.
start associating the color with that. Okay,
Um,
when you study itself, I have written this in yellow color. That has to be associated there. Then only you will be able to retrieve. If not, you will remember the yellow color and you'll forget the
yeah,
marks that you have to retrieve.
correct.
Okay.
Okay,
So maybe you are not a visual learner also. We have to check that, no?
okay, fine. Okay,
What is your name?
Sushma.
Sushma, yeah. So once I am done with the scoring, I will get back with
Yeah,
the
yeah, sure,
scoring. Maybe
thanks.
you're not a visual learner, and that's why you're finding a lot of
Correct.
things difficult.
Okay, ma'am, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, and you all know this 30 days, however you used to remember, no? Everyone takes your knuckles. Someone in the history found this method to study the days of the years. We have no clues who found that, but it is been transferred to generations to generation. My grandmother has taught my mother the same thing. My mother has taught me. I am teaching my children. That's how it is going on, transformation of this information, because it is a very easy technique and very important technique also, right? See, suddenly if someone asks how many days will February, or like February, something like March has, and we cannot respond, we cannot recollect, we immediately take our knuckles there, right? And we are able to easily retrieve informations. Okay, so that is how we have to, and it is not forgotten throughout our life. See, I think I would have learned it when I was some 8 years or 9 years old. I am right now 30 and I'm still able to remember it. And even if I go like 40, 50 years, and my mother who's 55, she also suddenly, if she has no idea of that, she takes that and she starts counting with her knuckles, which means that is so much in us. The method is so much important in us, right? That is why I'm teaching you the techniques, which might be very much important to you, will also help you in different ways. See, for example, when I'm dealing with school students, that is why I put a very simple example for them. Okay, if I put a very simple example, when they go to the 12th standard also, if there is something else complex coming also, they'll be able to break it down with these techniques that they can do. Okay, next one, Karthik. So this is very important. What type of a learner you are? Are you a visual learner, auditory learner, reading and writing style, or a kinesthetic learner? So visual learners through your eyes. So you want everything to be beautiful. You want everything to be colorful. You want everything to be that aesthetic sense. Okay, that is when you will be able to learn. When you said that your books have no pictures, that itself shows that visually you're not satisfied, right? You're see there are few see there are few people who can read books like without pictures also. They are comfortable, they are okay with it. When you read a novel, do you have any picture in the novel every one now and then? Not at all. It is even more monotonous, but you find it very interesting, you find it very beautiful. That is because of your visualization of the pictures. You are putting the images, you are putting that character, that Harry Potter walking here, this person walking here, this beautiful hair, beautiful dress, all that you're able to visually put it. That is why auditory learners are people who can learn through hearing. They learn through when someone teaches them, or someone, see, sometimes that happens. You'll ask your friend to teach you, then you will be able to easily recall. So that is the auditory style of learning. Reading and writing is making notes, typically making notes and studying. Okay, and kinesthetic is doing. See, mostly I don't think in CA you will be having things to do, like how do you do it in a science experiment, or how it is like something. But instead, am I correct, Karthik? They'll not have things to do, right?
It would be very less, very limited. Like only the
Yeah,
CA
it
final
would be
students
very
will have a
limited.
little bit of practical exposure, like things to do, but otherwise it's little less.
And in case if you have such things, you're not able to do it, imagine like doing. I still remember one of my friend, okay, when we were in ninth standard, she used to do the experiments with her hand without anything. Like hold the conical flask, put the solution into it, mix it, then add the test, like take something from the test tube, put the beaker, put the conical flask, everything will be in her hand. That thing will be like, she'll imagine like everything is in her hand. But it will be like she doing something like this, like this, like this. Okay, so imagining and doing also helps you in retrieving more. Next one, Karthik. So visual learners, see, I'll tell you the characteristics and learning tips that you have to do. The same way auditory learners, characteristics and learning tips. These will be posted. You can, I think the PPTs are sent to them, Karthik.
I have not shared the PPT, but I'll share it to those who fill the form.
Yeah, whoever has got, you can share it, or you can even like this is a recorded session, right? So you can even zoom it and see and read it. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. Same way, reading, writing, and tactile learners. Tactile is nothing but kinesthetic. Okay, so you use your what do you say? You use your sensation to learn. That your touch sensation, no, that to learn. That is what is kinesthetic mean. And reading and writing, I said you all make notes. That is reading and writing. See, for visual learners, no, you see. I'll put a vague example. You will be sitting in the first row of your class. Who will like to sit in the first row of your class, you are visual learners. 90% you are visual learners. I'll not say all of you are visual learners, but 90% whoever sits in the first row of your class is a visual learner because you want to see the board. You want to see the teacher. You want to see the expressions that the teacher tells when they associate. You want to see the writing in the board very clearly. So if you are sitting, you're keen on sitting in the first row, then you have high chances to be the visual learner. Okay, next one, Karthik. We're done.
Yeah, so there's a question, Priya. There's one student asked, is it possible you can be two types of learners, combination of two?
Yeah. I see, absolutely fine. Okay. What we will do is the highest will be taken first. I'm the second highest. I will give you the things accordingly. If you are a visual learner, yeah, you can be a visual learner along with an auditory learner because we use a lot of audio visual aids to learn. We see a PPT. Even now, what we are doing is an audio visual aid, right? You're hearing as well as looking at the PPTs and me, right? So audio visual is very, very, what do you say? Very common, like very common method of learning style. They can be kinesthetic with visual. They can be any combinations of it. Okay. So once you get your learning style, please see what are the methods that you can use. See how and all you can make it more comfortable to retrieve. Basically, I said no, we are not testing the intelligence. They are testing your memory. How much ever you remember, you get marks. So how and all you can possibly put this retrieval cues is what is very, very important. So I'm running out of time. I want to answer very important questions that I got. How to keep ourselves active and not lose interest. Okay. So basically, which means that you have a lot of difficulty in having interest towards your CA or something. Sorry, mistake. Now, someone who asked me, no, you're not active, you're losing interest, which means you've been forced to do CA. Who is that? You want to answer? I don't want to tell your name if you're not comfortable. Raunak, right? Are you okay, Raunak, to call your name? Come on. You there? Yeah. So, Raunak, tell me, are you forced to do CA? You can unmute and talk. Not at all. So losing interest is basically because you have a lot of time now and maybe you're not planning your time management or there are things that is bothering you. Maybe you can contact Karthik and contact me for a session or something that we can actually describe about it and like talk about it even more clearly. Okay. And please discuss about how to overcome exam fear, demotivation, failure. This is very, very important. Thanks, Dinesh, for posting that question. Okay, see, we all get
anxious, right? We all get anxious when it comes to exam. We all have the fear of exam and all that. So basically, I am trying to do an exercise or like I can tell it is a therapeutic technique, okay, for handling anxiety, for handling stress. So if you want, please do join the session. You can contact Karthik and you will be able to join the session about it. But a very simple thing that I can tell you for a solution, even if you're not able to join the session or something, means it is very simple. Okay, acknowledge your emotion. Everyone has fear. Everyone has the fear of exam. So first acknowledge your emotion. Yes, I am scared. Yes, I am obviously scared because it's my exam and everyone are waiting for my results more than me. The whole family is expecting my result, which is putting pressure on me. Right? So when it comes to all this, acknowledge all this. Yes, the whole family has expectation. Doesn't mean that you have to fulfill their expectation all the time. Okay, even if you don't fulfill, you're the same child, you're the same person who's going to be loud at home and all that. When you don't acknowledge your emotion, when you don't acknowledge your fear, it becomes difficult for you. No, I'm not scared. I am fine. That kind of thing, that kind of fake attitude towards your emotion will actually impart a lot of forgetfulness in you. It will block you. You will become panic. Okay? If you are scared, it's okay to be scared, no? Doesn't mean, see, I am 30 and even I am scared of few things. If that thing happens, I am scared. If I see a rat caught in the house, I am scared. Yeah, I am scared, but doesn't mean that I cannot go into that room itself. I have to go into that room. That is when I can function more. I can clean the rat or do whatever, right? So acknowledge that yes, I am scared, but that acknowledgement will actually reduce your anxiety or fear. Half of it will be gone once you acknowledge it. Once you acknowledge it, you will also think about the next level. Okay, how do I overcome it? How do I still go on with it, right? If not, if I am not scared, I'm not scared, you're going to put a fake attitude towards yourself and you're going to pacify yourself saying that you're not scared. It is actually going to impart on how I'm going to clean the rat. Right? Knowledge is putting that cleaning the rat is the knowledge. Cleaning the rat is the target that I have to do. I am scared, but I have to clean it. I am not at all scared. Let me go inside. When I go inside, suddenly the rat will come, like move, means I'll get even more scared. Right? If the rat shows a small movement also, it will be like one thrill for me, one shock for me. I am scared. The rat is going to move. I still have to go on, right? I still have to go to clean it. So when that acknowledgement happens, your half of your fear will go. Still, if you're not able to handle your fear and anxiety, please do contact Karthik for the session. Okay? So accepting failure, yes, it is another very, very challenging thing, especially when it comes to CA. Because it is really hard to clear CA in the first attempt, clear everything and go on with further. Right? I know one of my friends, she was like, we studied in the matriculation board, which we had to write 1,100 exams for 1,100. So she got centum in Maths 1, she got centum in Maths 2, she got centum in her 11th standard business maths accounts, and the same way in her 12th also she got centum in her business maths accounts, everything. But she wasn't able to clear CA for 5 years. That is when I understood that CA is really a hard thing. I never knew what to clear CA. That is when I realized, okay, it is not really easy. For this girl who has she's so good with numbers. Okay, she's just finished everything in centum, not even 99, everything centum only. And consecutively all the levels, like her 10th standard 200 on 200, her 12th standard 200 on 200 in 2 subjects, and it was something really, what do you say, astonishing for me, because I'm very bad at numbers. Very, very bad at numbers. So it was not at all easy for me to take it up. Okay, such a great person. That is how my attitude was towards her. But when it comes to CA, it was not at all easy. And she keeps failing. And it took a very long time for her to clear. So attempting CA is a part of accepting your failure. You have to be clear. Okay, if you think that you will complete CA in your one attempt, well and good. If you clear, happy, very good. But if you don't clear also, you should have this attitude to accept whatever it is. So acceptance of the failure is very important. And I tell you, as you all being in your early adulthood or late adolescent, it is not easy for you to be very mature enough to
accept and acknowledge your failure and all that. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be really tough for you to overcome the failure, because everyone in this house will start asking. Not only everyone in your house, everyone from the relative side, everyone from the friend side. What is bothering them? I have no clues. Okay, but they will come and impart so much thing in your head that you will also be able to you will also not be able to overcome that kind of that kind of expectation thing from others. Okay. Okay, next question. Anything else? Ma'am, is it possible to complete the entire syllabus within 8th December if have not started anything? If yes, how many hours? I have no clues, Reshu. You can find that from Karthik.
Yeah, Reshma, you can message me for that. Regarding CA questions, you can ask me.
I tend to forget in exam hall. My teachers told that you will not pass in the foundation itself. Okay. So see, it is again, your retrieval cues are very, very important, Dinesh. See how much retrieval cues have you practiced. It is not that whatever you have studied, you're trying to write. That I told, no, that conversion of long term to short term. During your exam, you have to convert it to your sensory. That immediate memory should be active. Then only you will be able to do it, right? So the more you convert it from short term to long term and long term to short term is easy for you to retrieve. Okay, so your results will be posted soon by Karthik. Okay,
So I mean, in the start of the session, I gave you a Google form. Those who have not filled it, I'm again sharing the link. But those who have filled it, we will analyze your results. And in the email ID you gave it in the Google form, we will share the results in a few days, maybe a week maximum.
Okay.
See what type
so as I'm running a short of time, in case you have any queries, you can still post it through Karthik in the Mind Company, and I will get back to you. Okay. And if in case you want to talk to me personally, also you can get the contact through Karthik, and you can let me know what it is. Okay. So anything else you want to talk, children? Anything else you want to discuss?
If any questions have gone unanswered, sorry for that. Like, we've taken most questions possible.
Yeah. No, not about the questions, about the sessions.
Hope you all liked it.
Yeah, hope you all liked it. Was somewhere useful, somewhere something hit your head somewhere in the spark. Okay. And try utilizing it, try practicing it. All the best. Okay, for everyone. My personal thing that is, please try practicing retrieval cues. Okay, then only you will be able to start remember things. As I said, only the more you remember, the more you get marks. So try practicing retrieval cues as much as possible. All the best. Wish you all success, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So thank you, guys. I've shared my number also in the chat. So those who want to contact me can use that number. Thank you, guys.
Karthik, I can leave?
Yeah. Yes, Priya. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Karthik. And I thank Karthik for giving this wonderful opportunity to meet children once in a while. It's so nice. Thank you, Karthik.
Yeah. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Priya, for hosting this session. Thank you all, guys. Very good session.